Hey there, fellow classic comic collectors. As always, I'm Scott Harris King. Today, I'm bringing you a special back issue haul because it's books. Today, we've got books of all different types. I've got books from several different sections. I've been getting books from stores, from online, from Kickstarter, from library sales, and I've sort of been collecting quite a few books. So I thought I'd do a roundup of my books. Next time around, this is haul number 49. Can you believe it? 49 back issue hauls. That means, of course, that next one will be back issue haul 50. So I have something very special planned for the next one. Next time around, we're going to start digging into the mountain. As you know, for months and months, I've had stuff piling up here that I've been purchasing, waiting to open it, waiting to file it away because of the breathing issues, and still a work in progress at the time I'm recording this, which is quite a bit before it's being viewed, but we're finally ready. We've done all the store visits. We're going to do the books now. So starting with this, with episode 50 of the back issue hauls, we're going to start digging into the mountain. I've sorted them into all different piles. We've got romance, we got quests, we got strange tales and superhero stuff, we got horror books, we got Archie books, and next time we got keys, big keys, CGC books, so there's all sorts of stuff. And next time we're going to have a very special one, to have something for episode 50, that some content you're not going to see on anyone else's channel. I can just about guarantee that. So tune in next time, 2 weeks for that one. But for now, we're going to do books. And I want to start off with a really cool book. I've teased this before because I've been waiting for it for a while. This is something that I got on Kickstarter. It's DSD Consuelo by Dave Ortega. Now, I'm really excited for this because this is a guy who is doing this book. He's been self-publishing it. So at MICE, the Massachusetts Independent Comics Expo, I think either 2 or 3 years ago, he had a table there, and I got the first issue. I was going around, I was buying sort of a sample issue from a bunch of different people, and he had all of his comics there. I bought issue 1, and I thought it was great, but I didn't buy the other issues. So luckily, he did this Kickstarter to collect it in this great trade, and it's really cool. So it's basically a story about his family, specifically his grandmother's great grandmother, their experiences during the Mexican Revolution in like 1915, 1917, 1918, and how they came to America. It's really good. I'm really looking forward to reading the rest of it. Like I said, I've only read the first issue, so very excited to finally get this. Next up, we have a bunch of stuff that I got at a library sale. So once or twice a year, our library here in town, they have this giant book sale where they put out like hundreds of boxes of books out on the lawn, and they sell them, and the money goes to raise money for the library. And you can get some really good stuff there really cheap. And so I just want to show you a few things I got. First of all, it's Persepolis. It's book 1 of 2 of Persepolis. I bought this, it was $2, so I was like, sure, let's get it. Couldn't remember if I already had it or not. I was pretty sure I did. In fact, I do. I have the collected edition of both books 1 and 2. So I'll probably be giving this to someone. I know just the person to give it to as well. So we're going to be passing that one along. But if you haven't read this or seen the movie, strongly recommended. Absolutely, absolutely great. Also got this. It is okay. It's The Wasteland by Martin Rosen. I don't know. It says a cunningly contrived and irreverent parody inspired by T.S. Eliot and Raymond Chandler. Yes, you heard that right. It's like a mashup of crime noir with the T.S. Eliot poem The Wasteland, but it's a parody done in comic book form. It's got some really good artwork. I'm gonna be honest, this isn't my sort of thing. I can tell that it's gonna be cool on some levels. The art's really good. It's got the high concept. I can also tell that I'm not really gonna like it, so I haven't read it yet. Again, I know some people who I think this would be like right in their wheelhouse, so I might be passing this one along, but it was kind of too neat to pass up. Um, I did get something that's a lot more in my wheelhouse. You can see the price sticker on it's $2. It's the Rocketeer by Dave Stevens. So this is from IDW, and it collects, I think, most of his original issues from Star Slayer and from other places, from Pacific Presents. So I was happy to get this all in one place for $2. This is a great, great addition to my collection. I mean, Dave Stevens' art is so tremendous. There's some great pinups and paintings and stuff in the back, and of course, his signature good girl art. His art's just amazing. If you haven't read Rocketeer, if you haven't really looked at Dave Stevens stuff, I know his covers are getting very popular these days, but his interior work and his storytelling, underrated, really great. So I was really happy to get this. For $1, I also picked up a volume of Matt Wagner's Grendel. Now, I haven't actually read Grendel. I'm a fan of Matt Wagner, of course, Sandman Mystery Theater, my favorite comic, love it. I'm also a fan of Mage, but I've never read Grendel. So this had a circuitous route to me. It was published by Dark Horse for $20. Then someone bought it at That's Entertainment, my LCS in Worcester, for $10. It had a $2 sticker on it at one point, and then it got marked down to $1. I know that there's a bunch of different characters that sort of take on the Grendel mantle at different points in time, and I don't really have any sense of. I can see there's a bunch of different creators who worked on this, so I have no real sense of how this fits in with anything, but I've never read any Grendel. I just have surface knowledge, so I'm looking forward at some point to digging into this. Here's something that I got to give to one of my brother's children. It is How to Draw Manga Book 4. They are really into manga and writing and drawing, and sort of have an interest in making comics. So I'm trying to support that without being too overbearing. Obviously, it's as someone who creates comics myself, it's exciting that there's someone else in the family that's interested in that. But I'm trying to let them figure out their own way there. But I do have this. I got a couple other books for them. That's going to be going out to them soon. So I saw that. It's not something really for myself, but I got that as a gift. And finally, last thing from the library sale. This is an oddball one. It's the collected cartoons of Claire Bretéché, because it's French. National Lampoon presents Claire Bretéché. Here's a picture on the back. So there's a quote on the front: "A savage, hilarious view of modern life." That's a quote from the New York Times, September 18, 1977. And this book is from it's copyright 1978. And so it's a collection of sort of slice of life cartoons. Again, this isn't normally my sort of thing. I think it's very interesting. It has a very sort of 70s sort of feel to it. It gives me a sense of kind of Annie Hall sort of feel to it. It also has, I love this sort of thing, even though it's also kind of sad. There's an inscription on the inside too. This was a gift. And it says, May 11, 1978. So this is just after my 5th birthday. May 11, 1978. I'll lift my glass in Dixie to toast you. A cheer to your anniversary and a curse to my absence. Love, Stephen. So I don't know who Stephen is. I don't know who they were giving this to, who Stephen was giving this to. I don't know why it ended up in a library sale where I bought it for $2. A lot of questions, but I do love that sort of personalization, the personal history of the object. So in some ways I bought this as much for the inscription as the actual comic, because that sort of thing is really interesting. At the library sale, they also have records, LPs, and there's one, I forget what the record was, but there was a note, like a handwritten thing on the front, saying that it was bequeathed to somebody. So again, I don't know why it ended up in a library fire sale, but finally, as I've been reorganizing my collection for these last few months, selling stuff off, buying new stuff, one thing I've been flirting with, but I haven't really dived into too much, are omnibuses. And I'm going to show you a couple now. One that sort of really worked out, one that only sort of has worked out. Before I started my channel, I sold off my Thor collection, and it was right before it went way up in value. So obviously, like, the amount of money I got I sold off issues 104 through 502. So I had that entire run, 399 consecutive issues plus the annuals. I sold them all for like nothing, because they weren't worth that much. And it's a strange fact that full runs bring you less money than the individual selling the issues individually. And then, of course, like a year after I sold it, the whole run went crazy, and now there's individual issues that I sold that are worth as much as I got for the whole run. But whatever. I do love Thor, but I just knew I was never going to complete the collection because I just didn't have the money to get a Journey into Mystery 83, so I decided to just sell it. And so I got this. This is my second Thor Omnibus. It's volume 3, and it covers issue, looks like 153 to 294, maybe. I mean, to 194, maybe. Yeah. So it's got like 40 straight issues from the Silver Age in it. Which is great. Now, the other omnibus I have is the Walt Simonson omnibus that covers the run that was coming out when I was reading, which is Walt Simonson's run from 337 to 382 or whatever, 383. So that's great. This is also great. Now, it is volume 3. I've been flirting with getting the other ones. Here's the drawback. The way Marvel does these omnibuses is the drawback, because they're very expensive, so they only print kind of to order. They don't really print that many more. They keep the first volume in print because those tend to be the ones that sell the most, because it's like the first volume. So I can get the first volume for less than the list price. And I can get volume 3. I got this at a really good deal on this, and I think there's a volume 4 out. I'm not 100% sure. That's fine as well. The problem is volume 2 is out of print, and it's been out of print for a long time. And so like 3 is new enough that they're still around, and 1 is still being reprinted, but 2, they just stopped printing it. So the volume 2 is like $300. So this, I forget what I paid for it, but it was like $75. Right, it's listed at 125, but I got it for like 75. The first volume, I've read those before, those original Journey into Mysteries, and the series sucks. From issue 83, doesn't really start getting okay until 97, when Jack Kirby comes back on board, and that's also the issue where they start doing the Tales of Asgard, which fills in all the mythology. That's the backup series. That's when the series starts getting okay. It doesn't really start getting good till around issue 110 or so, 111 maybe. That's where kind of what we think of as, Thor really gets going around 111. So the first volume is not that great, but the second volume has like some all-time classic stories in it. And if I can get a copy of the second for a reasonable price, I'm definitely going to get both 1 and 2. But for now, I've just decided to get 3. So this is sort of frustrating. Less frustrating, though, are the other omnibuses I'm going to show you. So one of the things that I did is I sold my action collection. You may remember like a year and a half or so ago, I did a long box archaeology where I'd found a short box that had like a massive amount of Silver Age action Superman issues in it, right? Well, I sold those. They're gone. And the action issues that I sold there, the reason I had them in the first place was because I'm a big fan of Supergirl, and that run, of course, I kept her first appearance in 252, but after that, she was having backup stories up until around issue 3, I don't know, 72 or 3 or so, and then she moved over to Adventure and got her own series, and the Legion of Superheroes became the backup story in action. So I had a lot of those, but not all of them, and it was kind of like, they were crusty, they were musty. I was mainly interested in the Supergirl story, not so much in the main story, and that's where this comes in. Look at this. This is tremendous. It's the Supergirl Omnibus, the Silver Age Supergirl Omnibus Volume 1, which is not only collects all of those backup stories, but it also has an awesome Darwin Cook cover. And there were so many stories that there's also a Volume 2. So, Volume 1 collects Supergirl backup stories from Action 252 through 307. And then Volume 2 is Action 308 through 376. Now, I have everything after that because I already have a complete run of Adventure, I have a complete run of Supergirl, I have a complete run of Superman Family, and then I have a complete run of the second Supergirl series. So, with these two omnibuses, I now have the complete Supergirl stories from her first appearance until she dies in Crisis. So, I was really happy to get these. I didn't really need the originals for the reasons I just said, so I'm super psyched to have both of these. Very happy with this. So I'm definitely dipping my feet more in the omnibus realm. It's just the availability is the main thing that's holding me back. I got an Avengers Volume 1 omnibus when it came out, like 10 years ago or something. And it's the same thing there. I would like to get more of them so that even though I have a complete run, so I'm not reading my really expensive copies, I can go to the omnibus. And I can get volumes 3 and 4 and 5. I think there's a 5. No problem. But volume 2 is like $300. So, I don't know. I may or may not end up getting those because I don't need them. But like Captain America, same thing. Volume 1's fine. Volume 2, hundreds of dollars, and then 3, 4, and 5, all fine. So it's just that Volume 2 stumbling block is really it's keeping me from getting them, which I think, if I was the publisher, I might look at that because I know there's other people like me. I would be spending money on Volumes 3 and 4 and 5 if they would let me spend money on Volume 2, but it's out of print and I can't get it. So we'll see how that goes. But for now, yeah, getting some omnibuses. I might get some more in the future if I can find them. But I'm real happy with these, particularly Supergirl, but also this Thor, which has the second half of the Kirby run. It's got the Mangog storyline. It's got the origin of Galactus. So it's got all of that great stuff in it. So you can't go wrong for the price, especially since I don't have those originals anymore. So that's it. Those are my books. And remember, next time, 2 weeks from now, back issue haul number 50. We're gonna go crazy. We're gonna start digging into the huge mountain of back issues. So it's just gonna be like straight gas for the next few episodes of back issue haul because I'm gonna have so much cool stuff that have been piling up. And first, again, for number 50, you're going to want to tune in because there's going to be content in this that you're just not going to get on anyone else's channel. It's going to be a themed episode. We're going to have a bunch of issues featuring a specific title and character that I've started collecting that you haven't seen in any of my previous haul videos. So this is all new. And I want to do something really special for number 50. So can't wait to get into that for you next time. But that's next time. For now, let me know what you think down below of these books and omnibuses. And I'm curious to your thoughts. And I'll see you next time.